I was so excited to be interviewing the Treasury Secretary, to be traveling to California to cover a Schwab Impact Conference. So many exciting things I thought were going to be terrific, not only for my career because I was interested in them, but also for my brand as a TV journalist.
The fall of 2016 was shaping up to be a busy one for Sharon Epperson, CNBC's senior personal finance correspondent. Staying in shape was always on the schedule.
When I was in the exercise class, and the sensation that I felt in my head that morning was something I'd never experienced, and something that was so scary and so sudden that I knew that it was time to stop and figure out what was going on.
She was nauseous, couldn't turn her head. When the symptoms didn't resolve, she called her doctor.
When I went to the primary care physician who was on call at the time, he happened to be a former emergency room physician, and he said he just thought of the worst case scenario. He told me I should go to the local hospital and get imaging done to figure out what was going on, and the CT scan there in that emergency room showed bleeding in the brain, and that's when they decided I need to have emergency surgery. The bubble in that vessel in the brain that had burst needed to be clamped so the hemorrhaging would stop. They were able to do a craniotomy. I had brain surgery, and they were able to put 2 clips.
But stopping the bleeding was just the start of a much longer journey.
I had to learn how to walk again, and I learned how to maintain my balance. I had to learn how to go upstairs. And I've also been a financial journalist for over 20 years, so I had to learn how to balance a checkbook, how to, figure out how to do simple math.
As you might imagine, Sharon also learned quite a bit about brain aneurysms.
The fact that 1 in 50 people has a brain aneurysm is significant. The fact that it often does not affect the 6 million people that have one, that's wonderful. But for the 30,000 Americans every year that face a rupture like I did, they need to know what the warning signs are. I was in my late 40s, a woman, African American. Automatically, demographically, that puts me at a higher risk to have a brain aneurysm. I knew none of this, and it is through the Brain Aneurysm Foundation, actually, that I found out all of this information.
Of particular interest to a personal finance reporter, the economic havoc aneurysms often wreak on a family.
I was out of work for a year, no income of my regular salary for a year. Thankfully, I had planned ahead and I had disability insurance, but there are many people who may not have that. When you factor in those who need to have 24-hour care, 12-hour care, 6-hour care a day from a family member who then has to leave a job. It is a significant setback financially for so many people, and that's why we need to have more awareness, more funding for research, and also for helping survivors and caregivers.
With her teenage children in mind, Sharon's financial planning now includes funding research through the Brain Aneurysm Foundation.
I have met some amazing medical professionals that are doing tremendous research in this area. There will be a treatment, there will be early detection remedies out there for them to take advantage of. I just want to make sure it is the best in the business. One of the things that's so tremendous about having survived something like this is knowing that there is a resource out there for me of people who care, who really honestly care about what has happened and really want to make not only my life better, but lives better for millions of people.